Financials.
Tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes.
Tell
Let's
him.
go. Canelo, come on.
Hey, rap though, y'all. I always been a fighter. I play sports though. I play any sport.
I feel as if that's a legacy fight. I feel as if, you know, this is the biggest fight in boxing today. I feel like this fight right here is like the last of the Mohicans. You know, we both coming in the era where Floyd Mayweather was #1 pound for pound, Showtime, and HBO era.
If you take a photo in the arena, you get it. I need to ask him. It's different. I know in his mind he thinks he can do whatever he wants because he's very talented fighter. He's a very good fighter. I like how he fights, but that's why there are some.
In a live social media broadcast, pound-for-pound boxing champion Terence Crawford made a surprising comment that sent shockwaves through the world of
Rap though, y'all. I always been a fighter. I play sports though. I play.
In a recent conversation, Terence Crawford revealed his strong ambition to face Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing the significance of the fight in shaping his career. He described it as the pinnacle of modern boxing, underscoring how monumental the match would be for both him.
Won the fight, you know. I feel as if that's a legacy fight. I feel as if, you know, this is the biggest fight in boxing today. I feel like this fight right here is like the last of the Mohicans. You know, we both coming in the era where Floyd Mayweather was #1 pound for pound, Showtime, and HBO era.
Crawford further discussed the importance of the fight, acknowledging the size difference between himself and the naturally larger Canelo Alvarez. Despite this, he expressed no hesitation in accepting the
two guys, top 3, pound for pound, going head to head with each other. And I understand, you know, Canelo is bigger than me and whatnot, but I'm up for the challenge.
When asked about his concerns regarding Canelo, Crawford recognized the difficulties posed by Canelo's physicality, including his punching power and size. Crawford noted that these were significant factors to consider but emphasized his previous experience fighting larger opponents. "I think his punching power and size are the only real concerns," Crawford analyzed. Still, he remained optimistic and open-minded about the fight's outcome. "But who knows? Once we get in the ring, we don't know how I'll handle his power or size," he said, reflecting on his extensive experience. "I've been facing bigger guys my whole career, so I'm pretty used to that aspect," he added. Crawford characterized the potential showdown as an intriguing clash of skills, recognizing both the similarities and differences in their fighting styles.
Fight. You know, Canelo and me is the same height. I got longer reach than Canelo. I'm faster than Canelo. But Canelo is bigger than me. He's stronger than me. So we both giving away something, but we both gaining something.
Additionally, Saudi Arabian royal His Excellency Turki Alalshik has played a key role in trying to make this high-profile fight a reality.
Financials.
Tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes. Let's
him.
go. Canelo, come on.
After Crawford's commanding victory over Israel Madrimov at 154 pounds, His Excellency Turki Alalshik reached out to Eddie Hearn to initiate discussions with Canelo's team. His goal was to host the fight in Saudi Arabia, aligning with the country's growing involvement in combat sports. Although Canelo initially declined to comment, he has now officially signed a 3-fight deal with Turki.
Terence Crawford was Turki Alalshik at the other event across town. Put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turki Alalshik calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
No comment.
Eddie Hearn, who has worked closely with Canelo for years, offered his perspective on the Mexican champion's reluctance during an interview with Fight Hype. "I'd be shocked if that fight happens," Hearn confessed. He pointed out Canelo's hesitance to commit to a potential fight with Terence Crawford, despite Saudi Arabia's interest. Hearn also mentioned that His Excellency Turki Alalshik had been pushing hard for the fight, but Canelo didn't seem particularly excited about the idea.
The excellency has been pushing that fight. It didn't seem like it was something that Canelo was really up for, to be honest.
Eddie Hearn further elaborated on Canelo Alvarez's reservations about fighting Terence Crawford, highlighting that Canelo feared a victory might not be fully appreciated. He reportedly felt that critics would devalue the win, as Crawford would be stepping up from 154 pounds. When I spoke to Canelo about the fight, I think his concern was that once he beats Crawford, everyone will say he beat a 154-pounder, Hearn explained. He added that at this point in his career, Canelo prefers to face opponents who are aggressive and engage in direct, toe-to-toe fighting, as opposed to elusive fighters like Crawford. Canelo doesn't want to keep fighting guys who just move around all the time. He wants opponents who come to fight, and Crawford can't do that in this matchup due to the massive size disadvantage, Hearn noted. Canelo, who remains the undisputed super middleweight champion, has been focused on opponents who match his physicality and style, ensuring the best financial and legacy opportunities.
Yeah, on February 22nd, Canelo could fight Bivol for the undisputed light heavyweight world championship. There's a fight. Charlo, people talk about Williams Skull. Back to the undisputed, but Canelo will fight anyway. But I don't see a lot of options for him right now. So maybe the Crawford fight is in play. If it happens, as good as Terence Crawford is, I just think he's too...
This includes Canelo's $150 million demand for a potential fight with David Benavidez, another top contender in his division. Such demands underline Canelo's preference for lucrative and legacy-defining matchups over high-risk ones like facing a smaller challenger.
Then when you think, what are the options for Canelo Alvarez?
Benavidez.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to happen either. He's put his flag in the sand, hasn't he? 150 million. I know he takes less, but I just don't see that. He's now up at 175, Benavidez. I don't see him coming back to 6.
Eddie Hearn also discussed the difficulties in making the Canelo vs. Crawford fight happen, before shifting focus to other potential matchups for Canelo. He acknowledged the fan interest in a fight between Canelo and David Benavidez, but suggested that the fight is unlikely to happen, as Canelo has reportedly set an enormous $150 million fee for it, an amount that is difficult to meet.
I want Canelo. Is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just,
Oh man, you a whoop his
Yes, man, type stuff.
yeah, I'm not.
If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want 200 million for Benavidez, and he want 150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his...
Terence Crawford has clearly defined his goals. After his remarkable 2023 win over Errol Spence to unify the welterweight division, Crawford set his sights on more significant challenges. Moving up to 154 pounds, he secured a victory over Israel Madrimov, signaling his intention to push himself even further. Crawford has publicly expressed his desire to face Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds, an ambitious move that would require him to jump 2 weight classes and take on significant physical disadvantages.
Beat him, because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. I think that fight, if it does happen, as long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smite.
Buddy McGoat expressed concerns regarding the weight division Crawford plans to enter. He advised Crawford to avoid hitting the full 168-pound super middleweight limit. McGoat warned that if Crawford weighs in at 168 pounds on fight night, the additional water retention and weight gain could push his weight beyond 175 pounds, possibly affecting his performance.
Then Charlo, and he's a smart fighter as well. He switches and everything, so that would be a very good fight.
McGoat recommends that Crawford come in at a lower weight to maintain his speed and stamina. They should aim for something under 168, get in great shape, whether it's 164 or 165, and on fight night, I believe Terence's boxing skills will shine, regardless of his weight, McGoat stated. He believes that coming in a few pounds lighter, ideally around 164 or 165 pounds, would help Crawford maintain his mobility and maximize his effectiveness in the ring.
I'm tired of people saying what somebody can't do, what they won't be able to do. I say let's.
McGoat emphasized the potential drawbacks of carrying extra weight. He noted that if Crawford weighs in at 168 pounds, but then bulks up to 175 pounds on fight night, it would represent a substantial increase from his usual fighting weight of 147 pounds. This weight shift could have negative implications for Crawford's performance.
I think Crawford is looking at just a huge fight with Canelo, and if he doesn't get it, he might not even fight anymore, because he's told me that before.
Former world champion Amir Khan expressed his belief that Terence Crawford would defeat Canelo Alvarez if they were to face each other in the ring. Having fought both men in his career, Khan stated that Crawford's superior skill set and boxing intelligence would give him an advantage in a potential showdown with Canelo.
I think a fight with Terence Crawford will be big, even though a lot of people think it's a total mismatch. I think Crawford.
He acknowledged that Crawford's exceptional technical skills, speed, and ability to adjust in the ring would eventually lead him to victory.
In the world, Canelo is one of the best in the world. Let's make it happen. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Well, I want to see the fight. And Canelo making great money. All my man Bud can't get none of that money. Give my man Bud some of that bread.
Khan further acknowledged that Crawford's exceptional technical abilities, speed, and adaptability in the ring would ultimately lead him to victory in a fight with Canelo.
Selves from 10 years ago. Simple. All right, let's make the fight though. Two great fighters. I want to see it. I'm voting for that fight. Crawford versus Canelo. Canelo versus Crawford. Let's make it happen.
Do you think we get the fight?
I hope we get the fight.
The potential fight between Crawford and Canelo has sparked debate among boxing experts. Veteran fighter Demetrius Andrade praised Crawford's skill but admitted the challenges he would face. Canelo is a big, tough fighter. He knows how to move, block, and absorb power shots, Andrade shared with Fight Hub TV. I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo, but he can still give him a good fight. While Crawford's technical precision would undoubtedly be on display, many believe Canelo's physical advantages would prove too much to overcome. Though fans are excited about a Crawford vs Canelo showdown in 2025, the reality of it happening seems unlikely, with both fighters pursuing alternative paths. Crawford could defend his legacy against welterweight or junior middleweight contenders, while Canelo continues to focus on high-profile bouts in the super middleweight division.
No, that's two more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets...
Meanwhile, Craig Hackett expressed his eagerness to see the fight happen, calling it an exciting matchup that boxing fans deserve. I want to see it, put it like that. I think it's worth seeing, Hackett said, frustrated with the ongoing speculation. He believes it's time to stop talking and start making the fight a reality, urging for action and emphasizing that fans are ready for the showdown.
There's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo has, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out.
Despite Hackett being a staunch Crawford supporter, top trainer Robert Garcia recently added fuel to the fire. Garcia revealed that he had heard that the highly anticipated fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez could actually happen.
They gonna be saying, man, I'm being Roy Jones Jr. I'm coming out like Roy. Y'all must have forgot.
Garcia acknowledged that many fans remain skeptical about the fight's feasibility, particularly due to the substantial size and weight differences between Crawford and Canelo. However, Garcia remained optimistic, expressing confidence that Crawford could rise to the challenge and perform at his best in such a high-stakes fight. Hackett also pointed out that Canelo has faced challengers who weren't necessarily top contenders for a big fight but still delivered exciting results. Canelo is pulling surprises, like Berlanga. No disrespect to Berlanga, but he wasn't really in line for that fight. But since we're just picking opponents, Crawford might as well go next, Hackett argued. He stressed that if Canelo was being matched with less deserving challengers, then Crawford, one of the best in the sport, deserved his chance. Hackett also voiced frustration over the boxing industry's reluctance to pay top talent like Crawford. "Stop being stingy. Y'all are being real stingy with this boxing thing right now," he said. Hackett acknowledged that both fighters are no longer in their 20s but still believed they had enough left in the tank for a competitive and exciting fight. "They are both in their 30s, not in their 20s anymore. Of course, they are slowing down, but not so much that they shouldn't be fighting," he added. Hackett maintained that despite both fighters no longer being in their physical primes, their experience and skill would still make for an incredible showdown. He remained hopeful that the fight could happen if the right promotional and financial factors align. "We need to see if we can cross-promote and make this happen. It's a great fight for boxing, why not? A fight between Crawford and Canelo would be one of the biggest events in boxing history, offering a clash of elite skills, contrasting styles, and high stakes. However, given the current circumstances, the dream matchup may remain speculative." Former welterweight champion and respected boxing analyst Sean Porter also shared his thoughts, voicing concerns about how the fight might unfold. Despite the excitement surrounding the potential clash, Porter highlighted the major physical advantages Canelo holds over Crawford. He pointed out that Canelo, a natural super middleweight and potential light heavyweight contender, would have a considerable weight and strength edge over Crawford, who has primarily fought at welterweight. This size disparity, Porter believes, could prove to be a significant challenge for Crawford. Even though he is widely regarded as one of the most skilled and adaptable fighters in boxing today, the fight remains one of the most discussed potential matchups in boxing history. But the question remains, will Crawford's strategy and skills be enough to overcome Canelo's size and power? Do you think Crawford can defy the odds and defeat Canelo, or will the weight difference be too much to overcome? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for all the latest updates on this potential blockbuster showdown.